So handheld gaming has of course taken on many different forms, especially in the last decade. We've seen systems come and go like the PlayStation Vita, systems do really well like the Nintendo Switch, which is a hybrid model, and now you're starting to see the rise of things like these handheld mini PCs, the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, the MSI thing. These seem to be coming out at an alarming rate, and I guess there's enough of a marketplace for these devices because why would companies make them if they feel like they're not going to sell? Personally, I love my Switch, I love my ROG Ally, I like my Steam Deck a lot, but the PlayStation Vita was a very interesting system because initially I never bought one of these, and I didn't buy one of these until a couple of years ago, and I really enjoyed the library that this system offered, but obviously, dedicated handhelds have definitely changed over time. There really are no dedicated handhelds anymore unless you're getting more into the niche retro market style stuff. Well, it looks like Sony might be trying a handheld once again. We got a brand new report that came out today talking about essentially a PlayStation Vita 2, but it's going to be a lot different. We're going to talk about this report, kind of whether I believe it or not, and then draw some conclusions from it. So if it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But let's just hop straight into this. So this is coming to us from WCCF Tech. New PlayStation handheld powered by AMD is in early development. 18 CUs, 1.8 gigahertz or slower GPU to maintain compatibility with PS4 and PS5 titles. Obviously, it's a very bold statement here, and as we read along with this, we'll start to see how this is kind of shaping up, at least in the opinion of the person leaking it. So this is from Moore's Law is Dead, that the Japanese company is apparently planning to re-enter the handheld market with new hardware. This console will be powered by a custom AMD APU and is currently in high-level design phase, meaning that it is at least 2 years away and hasn't been greenlight for release. Now, of course, Sony did a sort of handheld thing with the PlayStation Portal that came out late last year, and I think when the PlayStation Portal works, it's a cool device. Like I genuinely enjoy it when it works. It's just sometimes it gets really finicky and you have to like readjust settings and reconfigure your Wi-Fi, even though absolutely nothing has changed. But like I said, when it works, it actually works pretty well. So this would kind of completely kill a PlayStation Portal, because why would you buy something like, I guess, you know, different strokes for different folks. If this is going to be compatible with PS4 and PS5 games, you know, you wouldn't really need your Portal, but your Portal will stream the games. I don't know. We'll just keep reading along here though. The specs for the new PlayStation handheld have yet to been defined, but Moore's Law is Dead speculates it'll likely use 18 CUs to maintain compatibility with all of the PlayStation 4 titles available on the PlayStation 4. In addition, the console will be compatible with PlayStation 5 titles as well, although developers would have to patch them to make them run properly on the console. As such, it's plausible that the new system's GPU would run at 8 GHz or 1.8 GHz or slower due to the PlayStation 5's variable clock speeds. So this, to me, isn't just a dedicated handheld. This is the way to play PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games on a system that's essentially not streaming. It's something that's going to be native to this system. And if developers want compatibility with this system, they'll have to patch their games in order for that to be a thing. Now, I'm guessing it would just be with PlayStation 5 titles. It seems like PlayStation 4 stuff would just run natively on the system, but I'm guessing that this would have to be something that you download stuff onto, you know, a micro SD card, or we know Sony likes to do their proprietary cards as well with stuff like the PlayStation Vita. So, you know, where, because you're not taking physical media on this. You're not taking a digital down or a digital, you know, a CD or a Blu-ray, I should say, and putting it into this new device. So you need a ton of space for this to run because you're completely alienating the physical market side of things. While the new PlayStation handheld could just be 2 years away, that there's the chance that it'll take more time to see its release if it is greenlit, as it has been suggested to Moore's Law is dead, and the console will be part of the PlayStation 6 family, releasing as a handheld alternative meant for the Japanese market. While a new PlayStation handheld could sound unlikely, the market has changed a lot since the days of the Vita. The Switch, the Steam Deck, and all other similar systems proved how there's a demand for similar devices, and then, just kind of goes on to theorize about that. I'm gonna be real with you. I have a lot of questions about this. I don't even know if I believe this, because it doesn't make a whole bunch of sense to me. So you're gonna launch something alongside of the PlayStation 6 to play PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 games, but the only PlayStation 5 games that will run on this device, because everything is running natively on this, would be games that are then patched by the developers, thus creating more work. And would it really be worth it to developers? This obviously isn't a hybrid system. This is a dedicated handheld that will essentially play the same games that your television will on your actual console. You see what I'm saying here? None of this makes sense. Like, none of this logically makes any sort of sense, because how much is this device going to cost? You need a substantial amount of memory. And yes, memory prices have gone down, but still, like, some of these games are 100, 200 gigabytes. You're going to eat up, let's say it comes with 500 gigs. Like, you're going to get like 2-3 games out of it. On a PlayStation 5 that you're playing on your home console, that's a little bit different. Or you could just buy the games, physically and hope that some of the game is on there. I don't know, man. This all just seems very weird to me, because Sony never really wanted to be in the handheld market. They never liked it. Look at the PSP. The PSP was successful. It was a well-received system, but I don't feel like Sony ever really fully embraced it. Same sort of thing with the Vita, especially with the Vita. At least Sony seems somewhat optimistic with the PSP versus the Nintendo DS, thinking that raw power would trump over the games that the DS offered. They gave it a good shot with that, but the Vita, I just feel like it never got that real good Sony support. There was a few games here and there that were definitely, showcase pieces for it, and it's still a great piece of hardware, don't get me wrong. I just don't see Sony going back into the dedicated handheld market that's going to be compatible with your PlayStation 6. What does that mean for your Portal? What would be the point of the PlayStation Portal? Because if this system is running games natively, the Portal is a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, at what price point are you going to be positioning this at? Obviously, PlayStation fans will buy things at a bit of a higher price point, but when you're saying, hey, here's a PSVR 2 that, we're not making many games for it. Hey, here's a PlayStation Portal. At some point in time, people are going to run out of money. I don't see the economy all of a sudden getting so much better that people can afford to buy these things willy-nilly that really aren't giving them much value. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess this is all just speculation. This is all just hearsay. But Sony making a PS Vita 2 that's compatible with their PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games, it just seems weird to me. At that point in time, if there's no exclusive games for it, what's the benefit? Because I feel like the Portal will potentially run things better and potentially look better than this system will, because it's just streaming the games. Let me know what you think of this in the comments section down below. Do you think Sony is going to once again enter the handheld marketplace, or is this all just BS? I thought it was an interesting story. I was gonna wait till tomorrow, but stupid Spawnwave is gonna make a video on this tomorrow, so I'm beating him to the punch, pal. Screw you, Spawnwave. I hate you. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like I said, give me your thoughts in the comments section down below. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.